Anyway, speaking of traveling, so obviously not, it's still not yet common, or it's not yet back into full swing where people are traveling from different places, whether domestically or internationally. But the company United Airlines in the United States are planning to purchase supersonic passenger flights, and they plan to be able to implement it by end of this decade. Now, according to the article here at bbc.com, they mentioned that the company is planning to buy 15 new supersonic airlines, so to bring back the return of supersonic speed that was popular way back in, I think, the early 80s 90s, I think, with the Concorde there. So let's see. So they plan to buy. So what is supersonic flight for those who are not familiar? So obviously, typically a jumbo jet airline, whether Boeing or Airbus. So if you're going transnational flight from, let's say, Los Angeles going to Narita, Japan, in Tokyo, takes almost half a day or more. So you can just imagine the long flight, the jet lag, and all of those stuff. Now, the advantage of having supersonic flight is being able to travel faster than the speed of sound. And that's no joke. You go on an altitude of 60,000 feet, significantly higher than what a regular, jumbo jet does, and it travels at the speed of 660 miles per hour. That's 1,000 a little over 1,000 kilometers per hour here, and it cuts the travel time by half. So if you're traveling, let's say here, London to New York, takes typically, how long does it take? It says here, I'm not sure how long it is, but it cuts the travel time by half. So if it's 10 hours, example, it will be cut by five. It will be just 5 hours. Now, is 5 hours a big enough reason for you to take the supersonic jet here? It depends. But there are issues. That's the reason why the Concorde was discontinued after several years. Now, one of their main issue here, where was it? Yeah, one of their main issue that was mentioned is the noise that it creates, because it has this sonic boom if it goes to beyond Mach 1 all the way to Mach 2. And second is it creates pollution. So obviously, to travel faster, it needs a lot more fuel, and it's not very environmentally friendly here. And obviously, the noise is not just, it makes a sonic boom in the sky, but people on the ground can hear it. That's how loud the sonic boom can be. So literally and figuratively, when you hear that sonic boom, it's just like a thunderclap mentioned, and an explosion, and that's going to be annoying, especially if you live near the airport, and if they go up, even though it's 60,000 feet in the sky, you can still hear it. So I don't know, it would sound like a big, uh, see if there's a thunderstorm here. Anyway, and obviously, typically they would have to move away in. They have to wait until they reach the sea or the ocean before they can go supersonic. So at least it doesn't bother anybody on over the ocean here. Another, as I mentioned, is the fuel consumption here. So in order to be able to fly supersonic, you need more power and you need more fuel. This is according to Katie Savitt, the Boom's chief commercial officer. By the way, the name of the company that made that supersonic jet is Boom, literally. So when the supersonic jet makes that, so they use it as their name. Anyway, so the question here is, will this be a sustainable endeavor here, or will they have the same fate just like the what do you call this? What happened with the Concorde? I think British Airlines owned it at the time. I can't remember. Anyway, can this be a sustainable? Can the business be scaled up here? And will there be a demand for supersonic travel? Now, obviously, it was catered more for the more rich, affluent people, specifically business travelers, as mentioned earlier in the article, going from, if you have business from the United States in New York, then you have to travel to London. it makes sense to cut the time so you save more time so you can be more productive. Now, can this be used for commercial use in terms of everyday public traveler, who wants to enjoy the amenities? Now, obviously, I think we have a photo here. I don't know if you can see it. Do they have a picture at the ground? No. Yeah, but you can see here. So you can just imagine, obviously it has to be big so you can accommodate more people. But the problem is it has limited seating capacity. And you can see here, unless they make it longer, super long, it's just like a pencil, right? It's a very thin, very long, very pointy. And, unless it could accommodate a significant number of people, they have to charge more for the price. And I don't know, many could afford it. Even, big airlines are trying to cut costs, provide more economy seats versus the business or even first class seats. In this case, I don't know how can you accommodate business class since you have limited seating. So, that is the problem here. But if they can find a way to, incorporate or provide more seats for more customers, not just for business class or first class, but even for economy, so that everyday people can afford it, I think it would be a big opportunity, specifically for long haul flights, right? There are different destinations that would need this fast jet, no? You know, Traversing from New York to LA, that's one, and then LA to, let's say, Australia, or Australia going to Japan. There are several, many big cities that would benefit from this long haul flight, rather than, takes you half a day or almost a day to get from point A to point B. This will save a lot of time. Now, obviously, if you're traveling for leisure, you don't mind the travel, but still, if the price is competitive enough, people would be inclined, and I would be able to try riding supersonic jet sometime in the future.